Have y'all been paying attention to what happened to Tyreek Hill recently? It's just ridiculous. But before I give my commentary on what I think happened or what I think should have happened, I'm going to invite in one of the guests who you guys are well familiar with, Stats, aka Weatherman. Welcome in, Weatherman. Stats, what's going on, man?
What's going on? What up? What up, though?
Okay, we gonna kick off today's video. I want to share with the audience a video that we got from Miami-Dade County, and Tyreek Hill. Let's watch the video. I want you to give me your thoughts after the video. Okay, so far, what do you think's going on with that video, man? How do you think that situation should have been handled? Okay, let's hear about it.
It's a lot of layers in that. It's a lot of layers in that video, but I'll start off by saying I watched a lot of people's take on that. I processed the video myself. I feel like everybody is making good points, but I still feel like it's an element that people are not verbally saying it out loud. They say it, but they're not putting a finger on that point. On one hand, as a black man, if it was me, I would have handled it totally different, just because the way I spoke to the officer would have been totally different. But that's me. I'm just speaking for me. Like Shannon Sharp said, I just want to go home. I'm not trying to hold court on the side of the road. Give me my ticket, you go, or you go your way. We can fight this in court. I want to go home. That's just what I was taught. As looking on the cop side of it, yeah, he was super aggressive, and he escalated it to a point where, however, the little piece that I think I was talking about, they're saying it without saying it, but I'm going to actually say it. And that is, why is it, as an African American, that when I get pulled over, it's extra steps I have to take to leave alive, or it's extra steps that I have to take so that I can get out of this situation unscathed? When black people, or as a black man, or as a black woman, when we get our driver's license, you got to take a test. You pass the test, but you get your driver's license. But then when you go home, your dad or your uncle or your mom, they give you a separate test. And that test is, if you get pulled over, put your hands on the steering wheel. Yes, sir. No, sir. Make sure your license is visible. Move slow before you do anything. Do it. If it's nighttime, turn the light on so he can see through the car from his car. It's like all these extra steps that we have to take in order to survive, to just do normal things. And I think that's what everyone is missing. Why is it, as a black man, that do I have to do all these things when little Timmy gets his driver's license? They just tell him, hey, don't speed, and you'll be okay. That fear, not in his parents' mind, that something can happen to him if he gets pulled over by the police. So I think that fear is in our minds. It's embedded in our minds. Even as little kids don't even know. They just know it's the police. They got their hands up. It's something psychologically that's been embedded in us. So it's like we have to be demasculated in order to just make it. Yes, sir. No, sir. Which no, sir, and yes, sir. That's there's nothing wrong with that. That's a sign of respect. Every man and woman should greet one another and speak to one another like that. However, the me having to be extra, uh, let me get a good word. I don't want to say docile, but me having to demasculate myself in a way to let this person know you're the boss. If you've watched slave movies, when you're traveling and a white man pull you over, you got to show your papers. You got to put your head down. Don't look him in the eye. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm going here, man. I'm going here, boss. Yes, sir. All right now. All right, sir. Yes. And you got to, then they let you go. So I think that's the key in all of this. Who's right and wrong? We can say both parties were right and wrong in certain aspects of it. But the bigger picture is that element of why do we have to do all these extra things just to make it, just to not get pulled out the car, just to not let the situation be elevated just because of the way we talk or the way we handle the situation. Like it's like we have a special set of rules that we have to abide by individually. And that's the part that I don't like, that I think that should be removed.
So do you think all this is causing some type of PTSD?
Of course, it's a lot of trauma, especially when you see people getting pulled over and they getting shot and killed, windows broken, dragged out the car, all type of stuff. Man, that's PTSD, especially when in the same instances you can watch a Caucasian man get pulled over, roll down his window, police will say something to him, he give him his license and registration and say, I don't answer questions, and roll his window back up.
So do you think that this was about race, or do you think it was about something else?
You said, do I think it was, so was it something
About
else?
race? Yeah, do you think it was about race, or do
Of
you think it was
course,
about
yeah.
something else?
I think it was about race, yeah. And then the added element was that this guy is famous. Like, so this guy has money. So he has an arrogance about himself that I'm famous, which is okay because you're famous. It's okay to have an arrogance about yourself. If you're successful, it's okay to be arrogant if you're successful. It's just on top of you're black. So now you being arrogant and black and being able to speak your mind or speak how you feel to an officer, which you should be able to do if you're not aggressive and you're not in the wrong. But for the officer to take it in a way as, oh, you're arrogant and you black, like it was just like, oh, okay, get out the car, hurry up. Nah, hurry up, just hurry up and get out the car. Pulled him out the car. He like, oh, hey Drew, oh, stop crying. Like you some type of big football player. Now you on the ground. Stop crying. Like, and I hear that in his voice. Maybe it's trauma, but I hear it in his voice, the condescending manner of what he said. Then all his teammates stopping. They, what are you doing? Bag back, bag back, bag back. Oh, you don't want to listen? Putting everybody in cuffs. No, he was just on a rampage.
So
He
what do
was
you
just
think?
on a rampage.
What do you think
Again, oh, go
could have
ahead.
been done differently in this encounter on both parts?
Uh, okay. On Tyreek part, he can handle it different. I've recently seen a video. I forget what player it was. The player was telling a story. how he was on his way to practice. It was a black guy. He was on his way to practice speeding. He got pulled over. He cop in practice. You know, I'm late. The cop turned on his carries and gave him an practice. So basically, that situation probably wouldn't have happened. On the cop side, as soon as Tyreek rolled his license and his registration, immediately, so as he said, but immediately he gave him his license and registration. It's the guy going back to his bike and he's like, oh, why you with up? I can see. But if you would have just took the license ready in your job, it would have been the reason to escalate it. But once Tyreek said something about his window, the guy was triggered immediately. So I feel like they both handled the situation better.
Okay. Well, I respect your opinion on this. Thank you for giving me commentary on it. And we will touch on this again later on today if we get new information. Thanks a lot for showing up for the In-Game Podcast, Weatherman, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, for sure.
Well, there you have it, folks. We just spoke to Stats, aka Weatherman, and he spoke on the incident with Tyreek and the police officer. He said both of them could have been handled differently. He did leave the bulk of the responsibility on the police officer because the police officer has the authority. So I will, for right now, withhold my opinion on it until I get more information, until I watch further video. But thank you for watching the In-Game Podcast, and have a good day.